This video is going to tell you about the law of conservation of mass and how it applies in chemical reactions. The law of conservation of mass states that mass cannot be created or destroyed. In chemical reactions, the atoms on the reactant side and the atoms on the product side must balance once the reaction has taken place. Before we can balance chemical equations, first we need to determine what the coefficients and subscripts are. Coefficients show how many groups there are. In this example, there are 2 groups of H2O, or 2 groups of water molecules. Subscripts show how many atoms of that molecule there are. So in this example, we have H2O. There are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. If no subscript is shown, the subscript is 1. Let's take a look at this example. We have hydrogen plus oxygen produces water. As this equation is written, is this balanced? Well, let's find out. First, we are going to draw a dividing line, and we're going to count our atoms. We have hydrogen and oxygen on this side, and we have hydrogen and oxygen on this side. How many hydrogen do we have on our reactants side? I know we have 2. How many oxygen do we have on our reactant side? We have 2. Now let's look at our product side. We have H2O. So for hydrogen, we have 2 atoms of hydrogen. How many atoms of oxygen? There are 1. So, looking at this equation, we can tell that it is not balanced because we have 2 oxygen on the reactant side and only 1 oxygen on the product side. In order for this equation to be balanced, it has to be equal on both sides. So, we need to fix this problem. Since this equation is not balanced, we need to balance it. We are going to look for where our equation is not balanced. On this side, I have 2 oxygen, and on this side, I have 1 oxygen. So this side does not have enough. So we are going to add a coefficient of a 2 in front of our water. When we add a coefficient, we're adding another molecule of water. When we add a new coefficient, we need to recount our atoms. So now I have 2 times 2 is 4 hydrogen. And remember, when there's not a subscript, it is a 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 oxygen. So now, looking at my atoms, oxygen is balanced. Now, let's double check and make sure everything else is balanced. Hydrogen has 2, hydrogen has 4. This is not balanced anymore. So our oxygen is fine, but our hydrogen is not. So we need to add a coefficient to the reactant side. This time, we're going to add a coefficient to the hydrogen. I'm going to add a coefficient of 2, because originally it was a 1, so you go up by 1, so now we add a 2. So we need to recount our atoms. 2 times 2 is 4. And then, since there's no coefficient listed, I know that it is a 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So we need to check everything, make sure it's balanced. 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. This equation is now balanced. Remember, the law of conservation of mass states that mass cannot be created or destroyed. When we started our chemical reaction, we had hydrogen and oxygen. When we ended it, we still had hydrogen and oxygen. We need to make sure that there are the same amount of atoms of each atom on each side. So there are 4 hydrogen and 2 oxygen on the reactant side, 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen on the product side. Since these match, This equation is balanced, which also demonstrates the law of conservation of mass.